Yeah, there we go. We're not having TikToks. We're having TikToks. We're getting after it today. We're stopping chasing success. Gabe, what's going on? Hey, I'm your host. I'm Keith Bilous. Over there's the boy wonder, Christopher Martin, hanging out with us, bringing it from Maryland. We got the boy, the big man, back in the lab here today, hanging out with us somewhere in the countryside of California. Jon Anderson's back here in the lab this morning as well. Hey, exciting big show here today. We're talking about stopping chasing success. 3 changes that made me happier immediately. We're going to get at after that at the bottom of the hour. We got AJ's Eglin jumping in for Mind Fuel, and we got a bunch of topics to catch up with. We haven't had Johnny around for a couple days. We're going to catch up with Jon and Marty and myself. We're going to get after it here today, guys. Listen, this is a reminder. This is an explicit show, children. So if your parents are offended by bad language, I ask you to walk the parents out or put the headphones in the parents' heads or just tell them, Mom and Dad, I'm going to learn some stuff today on the show that you haven't taught me yet. So this is how it works, guys. Listen, let's get into it. Coming up this morning, Morning Loop, we got a bunch of different topics to talk about. I'm just being a little bit vague here because I don't know where it's going to go, but what I do know is we're going to bring in Johnny and Marty, and we are going to start the conversation this morning. Boys, Jimmy, let's bring him in here, my friend. Let's bring in the guys. Let's catch up with them. There's the big man himself. I'm having Jon Anderson withdraw.
What's up, brother?
Oh, there you are. How are you, pal? Good to see you.
Is my signal am I stable? Am I good, or what? Or how are we looking here?
Yeah. So far, you're so good. You're so good. You're so far, you're so good. Yeah. What's going on over there? And I think I recognize that hotel. Did you not stay in that hotel on the way to where you were going, and now you're coming back?
No, we're like just kind of off on a different route, and we're somewhere east, like we're in Central Oregon, somewhere like east of Klamath Falls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we're definitely not hitting the. I mean, these little hotels, man, it's crazy. You get far enough out, and the things that we're used to just aren't here.
Yeah. I love it. Like I said, when I heard you were doing this little adventure, and I've been talking with Lauren about this. I love the idea of adventure, and when you get yourself in, and listen, you and I grew up vintage world, right, back in the olden days, and this idea of Johnny getting on Route 66 and driving east-west, like that's, and just to hear you guys kind of doing your own little like Route 66 adventure, like that's where it's at, right? Getting off the beaten path and discovering these little communities that nobody ever discovers.
Yeah, we've actually had really good luck with so like when we go to get something to eat, like we'll get lunch or something like that. We're looking for some unique little place, something that you wouldn't find anywhere else. And so we've been so lucky. We keep finding these little cafes. They're locally run cafes, and they have like local artists that put all their art on the wall. Yeah. And it's like menus that are constantly changing. So it's like truly getting like the organic stuff of these little towns.
Yeah. So I have to ask you, how have they been feeding you, Mr. Anderson? Have you been carrying meat in the bag in your pocket? Have you been crushing eggs? Or have the restaurants been very mindful of what you've been asking them? I know you're not a big fan of eating off the menu. Have they been taking care of you, Mr. Johnny?
I mean, I always make sure I bring what I need.
I know.
I don't let my fate, so to speak, fall in someone else's hands.
Yes, I know.
So we brought a ton of good food with us.
Yeah,
like Terry, like over prepared. But then when you're always, it's pretty easy to find it, especially in these little kind of off the beaten path communities. You're gonna find a steak. You know what I mean? Most of these places, they're getting steak from their own pastures.
I was just going to say, and it's good locally grown food for the most part, right? Like, remember we had our buddy Mike Smart on the show there, who's all about local farming and local communities. And that's exactly what you're experiencing, because you're right. The local restaurant's owned by the local dude who went to the guy down the road to buy his cow, to buy his beef, and you're getting good quality ingredients for the most part, aren't you?
And that's why we're looking for the little organic, diner that's family run. Because, I mean, keep in mind, even in these little towns, man, you can find parts of society that we try to avoid.
Yeah.
They're still the fast food places.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy where McDonald's will set up shop. They know that They know that there might not be enough people in a little town right now, but in another 5 years there will be. So these bastards just set up a restaurant, any place where they could buy a market share. I swear to God.
The infiltration of McDonald's. You're right. You come around a corner into a community where you think they're just the local folks, and the next thing you know, there's the old Golden Arch over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You talking about me?
We're talking about the Golden Arch, Christopher Martin with the less.
Yeah, I'm the Golden Arch, man. What's up, Johnny?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm good, man. We missed you, man.
Yeah, I've been in some spots where the Wi-Fi just wasn't doable. You know, like it's like crazy. Like you can't even stay on. It'll just keep knocking you off. Or anytime you try to, like, if you can't play a video without falling off, you're in trouble.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was where you grew up, right?
I mean, we've been just kind of bouncing around all over the place. We went up to where the service was up close to where I grew up as a kid. Yeah. But then we've been kind of like right now we're east of Klamath Falls somewhere. So we're just kind of like on they're little, I guess you consider what highways, no freeways. What's it? Freeway, highway. One of them is a 2-lane, you know, we're on these little 2-lane highways that are just kind of going, you know, all over the place. So it's been fun.
Yeah. I've lost my train of thought here. Marty dropped a video for us over the weekend that I thought we could run here this morning. Jimmy,
you know what? I can't even remember what I sent you, Keith. That's how much I'm on social media, man. I can't even remember what I sent you.
Yeah. So Marty dropped the video on Friday for us, and I wanted to wait until our brother Johnny was back in the lab for us to kind of chew on it and have a look at it. Jimmy, why don't you run this video? We'll have a chat with Johnny about it, and we'll keep the show rocking and rolling. Boys, I was happy to get back with the three of us here today. Obviously, you know, Marty, when Johnny's not here, you and I just have to carry the load, just like the old days, right? We just kind of do what we have to do. And
hey, Johnny, you know I love you, right? I don't know what Johnny is.
What's the but?
But
hey, it was refreshing to have me and Keith, you know, do like the old days, man. It felt good. But I'm glad you're back, though. I just got to let you know that, Johnny.
Oh yeah, I love it.
It's got to be tough having a lion come into the territory and you know grab a hold of the head of the pack. I get it.
I love that. I love it. Hey boys, before we get to the video, I got to share both of you guys. Johnny, we haven't caught up since the weekend, but as you know, Carter kicked off his championship series and won the first game on Saturday. And Marty, last night they won again. Best of the 5 series. They're up 2. They win tonight. They've won the championship.
It's over with. Let's go.
Carter will be the captain of his championship team if he gets there. And guys, I had a chat with the young man yesterday. I was like, BZ, something up. He was like, no, what do you mean? What's up? I'm like, well, you're like in the most important series of your life, and I feel like you're missing a gear here. Goes out last night, dominates fucking game, gets a couple assists, gets on the score sheet, has the best game of his career. You know what it was, guys? It was just learning, and you've done it before, Johnny. You've done it yourself, Marty. It's learning the buttons to push, right? Knowing that person has the ability to find another gear. Sometimes they just don't know where it is or need to find it.
Is that me or you?
Keith, you went out.
Did I go out? Yeah.
You're good now. Keep going.
Yeah. So it's finding it's pushing the button to find a gear with our disciple, right? And I pushed his buttons, and I can tell he was a little bit hot under the collar from his dad or from his coach, and I will often take off the hat. I'll say, this is not dad talking. This is Keith talking. This is your coach. This is your business guy. You're on Team Carter, and pushed his buttons, and he went out last night and fucking got after it. So it was fun because it's fun when you can discover the button to push, and then you see them go and get after it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But as a father, sometimes you can do the best to push the right button and get the wrong one. That's a tough one. You got to really understand your subject. Yes.
No, Johnny, you were so right, man. And I was certainly aware of that, not wanting to be a dick, because I know I have been around enough dick humans that have not treated me with the kind of respect I have felt like I've desired.
I'm glad humans was followed by that. There was a slight pause.
I had to decide what word I was going to choose, Chris. Just in case some people might have been listening. I was like,
Oh boy.
I'll choose the word you
Like, we know this is an explicit show, but come on, man.
Good morning, future boy. You're here with Keith, Marty, and John. Morning's lots of Keith and Friends, the only morning show for men. Clody, I see your comments, my friend. Yes, quality organic is absolutely the way to go. So Jimmy, let's run this video. Let's have a chat about this video that Marty, because Marty has no idea what we're going to drop here. Let's run the video. Let's have a chat about it. Let's do it, Jimmy.
Fat. Yes and no. Yes, because if you have a prenup, you can put a provision called a Weight Watcher clause. I've seen in divorces where parties will put in there that if your wife loses or gains weight or changes her physique, and if she gets fat mostly after she has kids, then yes, she could lose out on alimony and you can absolutely divorce her. The other side of it is if you don't have a prenup and you get divorced in a no-fault state, no, it doesn't mean anything.
So Marty, explain this video for a second there. Future boy, thanks for the comments, my brother. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Johnny. Marty, tee it up first, pal.
Yeah, so basically it's just you can if you put in a clause like, hey, you can't gain weight, you can't get over this weight, you know, your wife won't get alimony. I think California has alimony if you get a divorce. But yeah, pretty much.
Are you fucking kidding me? California has everything if you get a divorce.
Yeah, California is pretty brutal. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
So
like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I mean, let's just fucking boil it down.
I know.
If you gotta do all this shit, maybe you shouldn't be fucking getting married to this person. You know, if you're worried that this person's gonna fucking wail up, maybe you should fucking, you know, hold off on fucking walking down the aisle. I mean, God damn it. You know,
I think it's hard to tell though. You don't that shit can happen to anybody, man or woman. You know,
but it's the character of the person. You know, like if I was to pick a person that I was worried was not going to have, you know, what I have moving forward, then I would be really fucking nervous, and of course would do a bunch of stupid shit like we just watched. But when it comes down to it, you pick the character of a person. You know, the character of a person says a lot, does a lot. You know, it's like you know, I can't tell you how many times I've had great business partnerships on a handshake. Why? Because that person that is the person that signs a contract is only as good as his handshake. If he wants to renege, that handshake or that contract, the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know,
so,
John, so much
is a contract. So I ask this question of everyone. If you have to if you're really concerned about somebody not acting properly and you think that a contract is going to do it, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you going to say something, Keith?
No, go ahead, Marty. Go ahead, brother. Yeah.
I was going to say, I play devil's advocate a little bit, man. And this could be just my experience, you know, but I've seen people I thought were, you know, super solid, upstanding character, you know, got so much respect for them, and they switch up, men and women, you know. So I understand what you're saying, but you know, people change 10, 20, 30 years, you know, some people do change, and not that they become a bad person, but their energy and their mindset towards their health and fitness could absolutely change. Yes. I mean, I deal with the people for a living, you know. I deal with people who were super fit back in the day. Like, how did this happen? So I'm just, but I don't. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go deeper in that, brother. Deeper in that. I agree with what you're saying, but you're not looking. You're applying that to character of people that will switch, because people that understand what a good life is, and people understand how to live the life they want to live. You don't just fucking switch up the shit that can get you there. You know, when you find people that understand the character is strong enough, they're not going to take that stuff away.
I agree.
I mean, of course, there's always a reason. You know, someone gets, you know, crazy situations happen, but generally speaking, the people that just kind of change, those are the ones that should be fucking banking your shit on anyway.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it's Johnny. I'm really appreciative of your comments around the idea of the contract, because even when the contract is signed at the end of the day, like even if it's a piece of paper and I've signed it, you signed it, and we're doing business together, and I'm like, I'm not paying Johnny, I'll see you in court. Like there's so much truth to your comment around the character of it all, because it's like, I'll see in court. Now we got to go and battle in court. Now we got to dig into our wallets. Now we got to choose to fight. Like, it's just like, it actually, I get the idea of a contract. I get the idea of a verbal contract, and I get the idea of a written contract. And I don't want to dismiss any of that, but there's so much truth to the value of character. Look at us three. Our relationship is built on words. Marty, you and I have handshaked and we've hugged to be seen each other in human, but the level of respect we have for each other as we're building this thing together is all based on character, frankly. It's all character.
That's such a good point. Such a good point. You know, I mean, you look at someone, you look at their history, you look at what they represent. Yeah. You have to make a quick decision. Is this person have the character of a person that I want? But then how long has this person displayed that character?
Yes.
You know, it's like when it comes down to it, I mean, someone tells me them trained, you know, they, oh yeah, I've been into health and fitness, you know, I take care of myself. Oh yeah, how long have you been doing that? Oh, about a year.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Come back, put another zero on that, put another zero on that, and come tell me that you take care of yourself. You're a flash in the pan. And I'm not saying that everybody is, but generally speaking, when I was talking to somebody on this trip, and it was, you know, just casual conversation. Oh, I've been doing this a long time. We're talking about the gym. Oh, really? How long? Almost 3 years. Boy, you weren't kidding. Come on, man. Come on. So all I'm saying is that when you find somebody that has performed long enough, you can bank on that character. People tend to want to bank on the character that has not been in motion long enough, and they wonder why a person changed, because all you did was take a bite off this person that was showing you a small window of time that you liked.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I will say this though, as we close the segment off, we'll go to the accountability check-in, because the next topic is about divorce. I'm sorry, the accountability check-in is about divorce. I do have a prenup through this one this time. Only because as we went into it, not because it wasn't about character, it was as much about my new wife. She's like, no, I want to have one because I want to make sure that we're all good going into this thing. So it was as much about recognizing that we both have been going through a dissolving of a business, and on the personal side of things, and as we got into this new relationship, we wanted to make sure that all the bases were covered, and I would do it again in a second. So, all right, let's do the accountability check-in, guys. We'll come back with center stage with a number of different things to talk about. 3 things my divorce taught me about communication. The conduit of conversation. Mr. Keith Bilous here. Listen, guys, I used to think communication was just talking, and I'm suspecting many of you think the same thing. Talk. I'm talking. I'm communicating. No. Communication is like an incredible tennis match, where you hit the ball back and forth. Your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. The magic in that, the sequence in that. You say your piece, they say theirs, and then you move on. But going through a divorce taught me it's so much more. That communication is like debt. Every tough conversation I avoided, every truth I danced around, every time I let things slide, because it was easier than dealing with them. It all piled up. And when it finally caught up to me, it caused the kind of damage you can't undo. So here's what I learned. Communication is a skill. It's not just words. Conversation is a skill. Talking doesn't mean progress. Throwing words at a problem doesn't solve anything. You're just talking. Real communication takes intention. It's about knowing when to speak, when to listen, when to move the conversation forward, and when to just let silence do its job. Big conversations, well, they take time. And listen, guys, I had to learn this, not only through selling my business, but also through going through some life changes. I used to think that everything had to be settled immediately. Johnny talks about it. There's a problem, we got to solve it. Well, sometimes clarity doesn't always work that way. Sometimes decisions need time. They need days. They need weeks. They need multiple conversations, months of revisiting until you get somewhere real. And avoiding those hard conversations makes everything worse, you guys. Every conversation I avoided just made the next one harder. I kept kicking the can down the road until it was too late to fix anything. Now, the decisions I've made is I face the uncomfortable shit head on every single day, even if it's messy. And once I understood those three things, I started applying it to everything. I started applying those lessons to my work, my friendships, my entire life. I stopped chasing the quick fixes. And I started chipping away until I got to the real solution. And guys, I stopped letting important conversations slip through the cracks. What was the results? Better decisions, stronger relationships, and a level of clarity I didn't even realize I was missing. Because guys, it's easy to take communication for granted, thinking it's just a natural ability instead of a skill worth developing. Because here's the thing, you can talk, I can talk, we're talking. That's not conversation. That's just talking for the sake of talking. So when you put in the effort and you become more intentional, that changes everything, you guys. It changes everything. So I invite you, as you go through your day today, stop talking. Stop talking. Put the words away and have a conversation. I'm Keith Bilous. I'm the host of Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, the only morning show for men to get your ass out of bed, hit those big audacious goals, not hit the snooze button, and keep getting after it day after day after day. All right, let's keep it rolling here, Jimmy. Let's get after it here. I thought I would throw something on the table here today. That's where's my notes here this morning? Here we go. Guys, so we talk on the show often, Marty, Johnny, about routines, habits. We are big habit guys, routine guys, doing the same thing over and over, chasing success through routine. And, I want to take a few moments right now and talk about must-have tools to dominate your day. Life's a grind, but you don't have to let it beat you. And, when you think about it, there's a day where you're in control, smashing goals, staying productive, and still finding time for yourself. Well, I found a little list of things that might be helpful for our listeners to help them stay laser focused. So I found a list. I put together a list of products that will help you build good habits, products that will help you create and stick to a routine. And the first one I wrote down was out of love and respect for my brother, Johnny. It's the old school daily planner. Journal, pen, paper, write it down. Solid daily planner keeps folks on track, tear off the sheets and get after it. Johnny, Marty, just comment on the value of the daily planner. And Johnny, I got to assume, man, in your travels, that's with you right now.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, of course. My book is never far away. I mean, it's always right there. I think that what people tend to miss about the book is writing shit down daily. It's like, it sounds like a pain in the ass, and people get so bent out of shape about doing something every day, which to me makes no sense. But pretty soon, it's like leaving the house without brushing your teeth. Oh my God, I don't feel right. Right? Yeah. Well, it's because you brushed your teeth enough. Well, you start doing daily habits and daily rituals and daily rhythms that help you. It's going to be the same thing. You're not going to feel right without them. And then it's just a part of you. It becomes very simple. You've added this very, very highly focused, productive, small sliver of time into your day that helps so much. Why the hell would you stop doing it?
Yes. Marty, we're talking daily tools for folks to have great routines and good habits. I think you're going to love this next one. This next one that I found.
Let me add something real quick.
Yeah.
I know you guys a little bit older than me. We don't do planners in my generation. This is my planner right here.
Yes.
That's my planner.
The problem with that planner, brother, the problem with that planner is that the notes that you need to be looking at are a couple of buttons away. When you have a piece of paper or a book that's open and looking at you, that thing is right there.
Well, you ain't let me finish, man. I got a book too, man.
So I'll debate both.
You ain't let me finish,
very
man.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a book too.
Nice.
I'll debate both you guys. So I think it's on how you have yourself organized. Like I've showed you before, on my front screen of my home screen of my iPhone, on the first thing I see is my journal entry right at the top there.
Okay.
So first thing I see is my journal. So I open up every single day, and my question today is, what does a great day look like to you? So I don't have to open a book. I don't have to open an app. It's just right there on my phone. And when I get out of bed and do my morning routine, I get after my morning journaling.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I distinguish what I put in my phone, what I put on the journal.
Oh yeah.
Like, so the journal is more like what can I improve on, stuff like that. But what list I just showed you is like a book list.
Yes.
Then just things like access to the internet, stuff like that is more stuff I keep on my phone.
You know what's crazy about the phone, Marty and Johnny, is that because of the politics of the world these days, folks coming in out of America, hey Marty, show me your phone. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I have anything to hide on my phone, but just the personal liberty, my freedoms of liberty of somebody at immigration or at the border saying, Jon Anderson, I'd like to see your phone. Unlock it for me, please. No, fuck you. I'm not.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yes, it's a thing, and they have every right.
I mean, technically, yeah.
They have every right to look in your phone. And that makes me nervous. Again, not that I have nothing to hide. It's just about this. Johnny, I don't know about you, because again, we're raised in the same era. I was raised, Jon Anderson, not to touch or go into my mom's purse. They're very personal.
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean, John? Like, that's just, even to this day, Lauren's like, oh, just get my wallet off my purse. I'm like, no. I walk over with her purse, I give it to her, and I'm like, you do it. Like, I have, that's your private space. I got nothing to do with it. I feel the same way about my phone.
I think when it comes down to the phone, it's, I mean, I totally get what you're saying, but the flip side is if I'm in a situation where I'm crossing a border and they're part of their protocol to open the phone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Give me don't waste more of my time. Here's the fucking password. Open it. Scroll through. Get out of here.
Yes. Yeah.
That's dumb shit. To wasting my time. Right, Johnny?
Yeah. Like, God damn it, man. You know.
Go ahead, Marty.
I was gonna say I was taught not to go in my mom's purse too. That didn't stop me from going in there. Now I didn't take nothing, but I still went in there and look.
And grab a couple
different generation, baby, because we would never go in.
I know.
Yeah, I still went in there and look. I hope she's not watching.
Even to this day,
back to the phone though. Here's the thing though, because I tried to do the phone thing, but here's the thing: that little screen you showed doesn't give me all of this looking at. I can't make all this look me right in the face from a phone.
No, you're right. That's why I got to do both.
And for me personally, I am so much better with all of my notes. It's like if you got a game plan for the day.
Yes.
And you can see just a little clip of it.
Yes.
Well, I want to see the whole thing.
I have to admit, Johnny, when I journaled when I did Kilimanjaro, I journaled my 100 days building up to it, and I have a journal, John. That's why I said to you, and I'm bidding against Terry. I want all of your old bound journals when life passes on. I'm putting my hand up for them. Because I have one of my own from my Kilimanjaro trip, and I thoroughly enjoy from time to time looking back into it because it's like remembering where I wrote it, and I certainly understand and appreciate the value of written notes in a journal and how that feels to. There's just something. There's history knowing that your hand was touching the pencil and writing it. There's power in that, isn't there?
Well, and they've also proven that when you actually hand write something,
yes,
that it's actually going to get. I want to say deeper or more, but there's a much higher level of subconscious activity by writing something rather than typing it.
Yes. All right, we're talking. We're going to get to the fit tip in a second here, Jimmy, but we're going to keep the conversation going here with products that are going to help you create and stick to a routine. And I love this next one. This one I don't think anybody thinks about, but if you guys know us and our show, it might be one of the most. Well, there's two things, but this might be one of the most important items on the list because nobody thinks about this, which is where is it? Glass meal prep containers.
That's what I use.
Yes, because if you need to have food ready to go, yeah, I know, we got the plastic bags if we need to have meat in the bag next to the thigh, but at the end of the day, we want to have our food ready to go in a glass container in the fridge. And Marty, I throw it out there because I think it's something often overlooked, and it's the key to a good habit. It's the key to a good routine, isn't it, Johnny? Because when that food is cooked, you open your fridge, it's ready to go, boom, 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 no decisions made.
Yeah, here's the thing. I say this. I totally get the whole plastic thing, right? So if you can handle your meal prep and you can be consistent with it, with any fucking container you choose. Doesn't make a difference what it is. It can be plastic, it can be whatever. If you can do that with any regularity, then let's worry about going to the glass, because the meal prep that you're doing in, say, plastic is far better than the fucking fast food you're eating without it. So let's just take this one step at a fucking time. If you're listening and thinking, oh my God, I got to go get glass. No, don't worry about getting glass containers. Get your ass in the kitchen. Do some cooking. You'll find some shit to section it off and divvy it up for the meals. Just remember, it's one step at a time.
Yeah, fair point. And I didn't start with glass. I started with some good old plastic Tupperware. Actually, I started with Ukrainian Tupperware back in the olden days, Johnny. I was using the old Basel margarine containers that mom and dad would collect over the years. And Marty's smiling there. That's just how it worked, man. Growing up, you just recycled the margarine, sour cream, and the butter containers that mom would buy food in. That's just how
you were looking for anything to keep your shit right. Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. All right, let's do the lifestyle. Let's do the fit tip, and then we're going to come back. And Jimmy, we're going to stay on this list. We're going to create some content today. This is a good takeaway here. Tips that will help you create your routine. We're going to get back to that after I talk about 3 changes that made me happier immediately. Marty, let's do the fitness tip, brother.
Let's do it. All right, man. I was gonna say, Jimmy, put me in the center of the screen, man. Come on, man. No, I'm playing. All right, we got the fitness tip for today. So, as I talked about yesterday, I'm training for this High Rocks race, and one of the exercises is walking lunges. This is something I do on the regular. It's something I add in my trainer, pretty frequently. But the key is you got to touch your knee to the ground. That slight difference there has made me realize that I need to step up my walking lunges. And so I've been doing them, and my legs have been super sore for about 4 days now. And it's made a big difference in the way my legs feel. I feel a lot stronger. So why am I telling you this? Because you shouldn't be afraid to make certain tweaks in your workout, right? Add some pause reps. Switch up the foot variation. Switch up your grip variation, right? And these small tweaks can just add something to your workout, make the workout a little more difficult, and probably give you those extra gains you've been struggling to get. It's going to get you out of your comfort zone, and it's just going to make you better mentally. So don't be afraid to switch it up. Don't be afraid to add something to your workout. You see something new on Instagram that makes sense. You hear one of your homeboys, one of your homegirls talking about something. You hear me, Keith, or Johnny talking about something. Don't be afraid to add it to your workout. I'm glad I made this change. And let's see the gains step up. That's the fitness tip for today.
Man, Instagram's poison, Marty. Instagram's just a poison.
You got to be careful on Instagram.
Oh, Jesus, Murphy. All right, boys, ever had everything on paper, success, money, recognition, but deep down, you knew you were settling? Well, guys, I can tell you right now, that was me. That was absolutely me. The day that I stopped settling for mediocrity wasn't dramatic. No, it was just one of those, okay, no stage lights, no big speech, just a decision, a shift. Today, over the next few minutes, I want to take you inside the real turning point for me that changed how I defined success forever, frankly. And when we stop chasing what the world tells us we should want and start owning what actually matters to us, everything changes. You hear Jon talk about it all the time. You hear Marty talk about it all the time. And it's not just results, but it's how we feel about ourselves while we're getting there. This next few moments is your reminder that your next level doesn't need applause, you guys. It doesn't need applause. Who cares what everybody else thinks? It just needs alignment. Guys, 70% of professionals admit to feeling like they're on autopilot in their careers. Anderson talks often, too many of us work towards retirement. We work, waiting to rush towards retirement. What kind of life is that? Studies show that intrinsic motivation, doing work aligned with your values, results in higher satisfaction and long-term success. Guys, we talk about this often on the show, but I'm going to kick it off with this. My shift began when 3 mindset pivots happened for me. I stopped chasing finish lines. I prioritized the journey, not the outcome. I wasn't worried so much about winning the Stanley Cup, the analogy I would use, I focus more on getting through every game and winning through every game. I started celebrating the small wins. And actually, Jon just talked about it. Don't rush to buy the glass containers. If you want a meal prep, get whatever you need right now. And that's a small win, right? The deep conversations, the quiet breakthroughs. And science backs all of this. We know that dopamine is released sharing during progress, not just not just when you complete something. What also changed for me is when I set my own metrics, right? I dropped the scoreboard that society was giving me. We talk about Instagram. I left it because that FOMO, that craziness that it creates for all of us or some of us is not healthy. Dropping the scoreboard, not worrying about what others were thinking, not worrying about what others were judging, right? And replacing it with health, freedom, and connection with people that are important to me. Like my morning, every single morning with Marty and Johnny. This is value to me. And then choosing alignment over achievement. You've heard me say it before, and you've heard Jon and Marty say it as well. Saying no to the things that sounding impressive, but they felt hollow. And started filtering decisions with one question: does this fit who I actually am? And if it doesn't fit who I actually am, guys, I walked away. And I can tell you right now, I walked away from relationships. I walked away from business deals. I walked away for a lot of things. I walked away from situations that probably would have made me a lot more money and taken me to different statuses. But guys, they competed with my values. They competed with my quality of life. They competed with the things that didn't move me in the direction that I wanted to move in. So I said no. Hard to do, but it was what was important to me. So I ask you guys, if you're chasing success, ask yourself this: what are you chasing? What are you chasing it for? Because if all you're doing is chasing happiness, you might find that there's never happiness at the end of the line. You have to find happiness along the way. Let's talk about it. Marty, Johnny, comment on this.
Oh man, this is something that, I mean, even myself, this is like a daily reminder.
Yes.
We get so geared towards, especially when I was young, I was geared towards, well, when I get a pro card here, when I get my pro card there, when I, sell my first business, when I million, it's always connected to some, rather than connected to where it needs to be connected is, what do I need to do today to take me a step closer to what I'm doing? And when you find the joy in today, then the whole process goes better, smoother, faster, whatever you want to call it. And you get to that thing, but you're not focused on that thing. You're focused on the daily rhythm. And that's where it's so difficult. I mean, even in fitness, Marty, I'm sure you deal with this all the time. Someone's so focused on the goal, they're missing what they got to do today,
I agree.
Marty.
I say this too. I've learned chasing pleasure always leads to a disaster. So, I've had to learn how to say no to certain things that might have been fun at the time, might have been enticing at the time, might have caught my attention at the time, but what is the end result going to be? You slept with another girl, you went to another party, you got drunk. You could have been putting this time into something else and elevating over here and making this better, getting closer to your dreams, getting closer to your goal. But that pleasure, it essentially led to nothing. So I'm not saying don't ever have pleasure. I'm not saying I don't ever have fun in my life, but just that quick dopamine hit, it probably isn't the best option ever.
Yes. Yeah, it's hard to argue that. Hey, Fit Presenter boys, we got we're helping Mike McQuillan out this morning. Help. I have you on mute right now. I'm in a Zoom call getting pitched on a pyramid scheme. I hope you're talking. That's funny.
Oh, real quick, McQuillan, did you know it was a pyramid scheme before you got on the meeting? Probably not, the way it sounds.
Marty.
My question: the fuck are you still on the call, Mike?
I want to weave in something AJ said a couple of weeks ago. We got AJ joining us in a few moments here, and then I want to weave it back to Instagram, and I want to weave it back to chasing happiness. When you open up the gram today, there is an unlimited stream of females in your feed, Marty, and it's
ridiculous.
It is. And it's funny because you actually could never make a choice because there's always going to be another female to show up in your feed. And my point is, if you as a young man or a young man is waiting to find perfection, you're just chasing disaster.
I agree. And I wanted to just add to that. Like say one of my boys would be like, yeah, man, she's tripping, man. It's a whole bunch of them out here. Yes, there are a whole lot of other women out here. Yes, for sure, absolutely. But that doesn't mean they're quality, right? And so a lot of people in my generation, they don't like to work through the issues, work through the shit because they think there's so many other females out there, and women do that as well. So. Yes.
Well, because all you gotta do is pull down your finger and a whole new set shows up. You're like, okay, I don't like that. Well, get a whole new bunch.
But hold on here. Let's take a little bit more fucking accountability and responsibility to fucking feed. Feed is given to us based upon our interest. So if you stop fucking wasting time looking at the bitches are gonna stop showing up on your fucking feed. So God damn it, let's not fucking play victim to fucking Instagram. You're only a victim because you're fucking allowing yourself to be a victim. If you were to watch shit on the NASDAQ or investing, you're gonna get more shit on investing. So stop looking at the buns and fucking wonder why you're distracted.
That's a great
now and in all fairness, I don't go on the gram for buns, but I do save a lot for my podcast and things to react to. That's why I have bullshit on my feed. But I ain't getting on there just, let me double tap this ass real quick.
I never go on the ground because I just don't have time for it because I think it's
you have it too though. You have bullshit. You showed me your bullshit on the feed that pops up.
I was like, because I had somebody else managing my account for it. I logged in. I was like, what the hell is this? I was just like, where did all this come from? But guys, here's a question I want to keep with this whole idea of chasing success. Because I wonder if this is a provocative one or if it's laziness or if it's just us being afraid of alignment because do you think, Marty, do you think we're afraid? Do you think we're afraid of alignment because it forces us to slow down and take accountability, Marty?
Absolutely. As much as we talk about women not being accountable, men are just as bad, if not worse.
Yes.
Yeah. Men hate being held accountable, and I think we're in this age where people are like, well, I don't like your tone. I don't like your tone. I don't like how you said it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that was the thing when y'all were coming up, but it just seems very soft to me.
Yeah.
I think real quick, I because it broke up for me. I think I heard you say men don't like to be held accountable. Is that what you said, Mark?
I said, yep.
Well, I would have to add to that. The wrong men don't like to be held accountable.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Because absolutely. When it comes down to it, I mean, there's nothing better than when it comes to accountability, for some reason I'm missing if I'm shitting my pants and somebody comes along and gives me a fucking poke, I'm very thankful for that.
Yep.
Yeah. There's one thing that I've been leaning into often not as of late, but just really leaning into the mindset, Johnny and Marty, is this whole idea of I don't need to be right. I just want results. Like, I don't care who's right. I don't care if Marty's right, Johnny's right. I just want results. I just want us to win. Right. And that was a mindset shift that I had to learn, Jon Anderson. And a lot of it was taught by you. It wasn't so much about being right or wrong. It was just really understanding that the results are what mattered.
Yep.
Good. I'm happy to be wrong as long as I'm getting what I want.
Yes. Yeah. I know. And that's
in many cases when you're wrong, you're learning. So it's like a double good, if you will.
Yes. Yep.
And sometimes you're wrong to them, but you're actually doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's a good point, Marty, too. That's a good point. All right, guys, listen, we're going to wrap this up here. Listen, you don't need to burn it all down to begin again. You just need to start with one decision to stop settling. That's really where it is, right? And there's power in saying, guys, I've said it. Marty has said it. Jon says it all the time. This is no longer enough. Not because you're ungrateful, but because you know there's more. It's okay to say no because you deserve more. There is our deep dive conversation this morning for Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. All right, Johnny, let's do a lifestyle tip. Let's get after with you for a minute, and we're going to try it out here with your connection. Then we'll bring back AJ, and let's keep some of the conversation going on things we need to get some good habits and routines in place with Mr. Eglin coming up in a minute. Nope, this one right here.
There it is. All right, keep it simple. Simple is going to be easier to execute, especially in those times when you're not in your own space. I'm going to use myself for example. I've been traveling, and I've been at the gym once. I have found so many ways to keep myself. I mean, my legs are sore because I've been body weight squatting. I've been lunging. I've been just doing the simple stuff to get the job done with the cracks of time that I have. So that being said, don't be that person that is creating such a complex plan that if it doesn't go just the way it's supposed to, you just fall off the rhythm. What's important is the rhythm, even if it's very simple and it's very repetitive for that matter. The fact that you're doing it, you're building basically the muscle memory of doing the shit you got to do. So remember, complexity in many cases is not going to get you what you're looking for. Keep it simple, keep it regular, and keep it going. Rock and roll.
Keep it regular and keep it going. They're hard things to do, you guys, but when we do them regularly, success will happen. It's like brushing our teeth. Johnny, I've been sitting down with Brookie here lately and teaching her about just habits and teaching her about responsibility. And I was talking to her on Sunday, Johnny, and it was all about, Brookie, why don't you start making a list for yourself? Because she loves the idea of a diary, but you know how it works, the diary, right? We open up the diary, we never know what to write. We're like, oh, what do I write? I said, hey, Brooke, maybe the thing you can write today is what you need to do. Well, her eyes lit up because it gave her a purpose, right? It gave her a purpose because in her mind, it killed two birds with one stone. It's like, hey, I now have something to write in my journal. And at the same time, I'm also going to achieve some success along the way. And then ideally, as a little 8-year-old, 9-year-old, she starts doing that now, boys, when she's 39, 49, 59, 69, 79, those habits she's starting now just continue to perpetuate, right? It all starts with
100%. And at this age, like with my daughters, I got them so kind of accustomed to these simple habits and rhythms of daily life. They didn't really know it was any different than brushing their teeth.
Yes.
But it separated themselves from the people who don't do those things massively.
Yes. All right, we've got AJ coming up in a few moments here, guys. But I want to keep this conversation going because I'm doing content and doing testing on our channel. I got products that'll help you create and stick to a routine. As you guys know, we're all about giving you guys things to get through your day, hit big, audacious goals. And I'm going to suspect we take much of this for granted. Well, yeah, it just has to happen. Well, no, you do meal prep. Where do you put it? You have a journal. What do you write with it? You need a good ballpoint pen or pencil. John, question for you to start. Do you have the same pen or pencil or a set of pencils, or do you have like a personal pen that you carry? It's a very personal tool that you use to write your list every single day.
You know what's personal about that pen?
Yeah.
Is it fucking stays in my book.
Yes.
I hook it on the little rings.
Yes.
And because of that part, that little steel thing that's actually, I don't know what you'd call it. It stays in the book. The other pens, they don't stay in the book. That's why I don't like them. So it's for me why do I like it? Because it's exactly where I fucking left it last time I used it.
And I know it sounds so goofy because we take it for granted, but it is so important. If you don't have a tool, you can't write it down. Marty, what do you got?
I was going to say, I'm actually shocked at John's answer.
I
thought it was going to be, look, I just get the fucking job done. A pen is a pen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Shit. That's what I'm saying, Marty, is that's why I get the job done with this pen, because it will stay in my book. Most other pens, you clip it on something. The clip is not worth a damn. It won't hold on to shit, so it falls out. Then I go to use where's my fucking pen? I got a good idea. I got to write something down. God damn it. So it's this pen, why it's so personal and why it works. Why it's so personal is because it fucking stays put. It's always going to be where I left it in my book.
Marty, I thought the answer was going to be this. Jesus Christ, Billis, I just fucking pricked my finger with blood. With blood.
Mine has this little hoop right here. I just put mine in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I use the same pen too. Yeah.
There's something to be said about a good quality pen. Johnny, I'm gonna speculate here. You strike me as a man who grew up writing calligraphy and good handwriting. Am I correct?
Well, I strike you that way because I've told you that.
Oh, you did. That's right. Okay.
Nope.
Caught him slipping, Johnny.
I'm going.
Caught him slipping.
That's it. Noise here. Who's that from? AJ there? Is that it? How's it going, Mr. Eglin?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing good here this morning. We got Johnny somewhere in the countrysides of America doing his Route 69 journey. He's traveling across the countryside and figuring out internet along the way. AJ, we're just switching up here with you this morning. As you know, we're all about teaching our audience good habits, good things that they need to succeed in life. And I found a list, AJ, of products that will help you create and stick to a routine. And often, many of these things I think we take them for granted. You know, we need a journal, we need a pen or a pencil, we need containers for meal prep. AJ, you haven't prepped you for this. Is there something that comes to mind for you, which is something that will create and stick to a routine before I get to our list here, AJ?
Like just a tool, you mean, that we use that can be helpful?
Yeah.
That's a good question. If I had to choose one tool that would maybe be helpful for people, I mean, a pen and paper actually might be a great place to start because you can do a lot with it, right? If you're writing down from some sense like a journal or stuff you're thinking about or trying to accomplish, writing down goals or affirmations. If you're writing down your workouts, right, and being like, hey, this is what I did. I used this weight or did this many reps at this weight, or, you know, I'm always a big supporter of people writing down their workouts and writing down what they've done. So they have tangible evidence to help track progress, and they have proper context when they switch their programming on where to start at and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, a pen and a paper actually might be maybe one of the best tools.
Tough one to beat, brother. It's a tough one to beat.
It is. Well, so we talked paper, pen. We've talked glass containers or containers for meal prep. Here's one, guys. Here's an obvious one. If you want to be successful, if you want to stay organized and you want to hit your big goals, a water bottle that tracks hydration. Like, you should go everywhere in your life with your water bottle, boys. No, there's no debating that, frankly.
You can't debate that one. You got to drink your water.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think on that level, that the idea of having a bit of a system to it, is you get these guys they're carrying around a big fucking jug, and then by 3 in the afternoon, they got about that much gone out of the thing that's this fucking big, and they realize they're running behind, so they start guzzling water to catch up. Their kidneys going to overdrive, getting really overs. Next thing you know, I'm caught up, I'm halfway. Kidneys are still kicking out water. They end up dehydrating themselves because they tried to hydrate too quickly. So the idea behind having a bottle of water, put a little bit more thought, a little more intention into making a system that will help the body stay hydrated evenly through the day.
Yes. Yeah. AJ, anything to add to that?
Yeah, so I'm actually I'm not a huge bottle of water guy. I don't have a bottle of water with me, but I would lean maybe more towards what John was saying there. I'm more of a glass of water guy. So when I get up in the morning, it's a tall glass of water. When I get to work here at the gym, it's a glass of water. When I go eat, so I have certain points in my day where I know I just always have a big glass of water at that time. And then I feel like that just keeps me on track. And then in between, obviously, if I'm thirsty, if I'm whatever, I have a water bottle, like my shaker cup full of water at the gym with me all the time that I'll just sip on whenever I'm thirsty. But I have certain times when I always have a glass of water at dinner, at bed or whatever. And then when I have those little checkpoints or whatever through the day, that's how I get my water intake, but it's fairly like spread out, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it's funny, guys, 'cause I've known AJ for a long time, and I know we're all very aggressive water drinkers. Now that you say it, AJ, you don't drink much water.
Well, I do, but like I said, I'm not like I don't carry it around with me all the time, right?
Yeah.
I'm
I
a
think
very
it appears he doesn't drink the water, but when he's
Yes.
guzzling down a glass real quick, there's no evidence that
Right.
the only one that knows it happened was him. He
That's
doesn't
it.
walk around with that glass, that empty glass, you know.
That's exactly it. Yeah, it's all done
Right.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like look at my water, everyone. Look, I have a water bottle.
Yeah. Yeah. I have one for the table that I think is taken for granted and often not talked about, which is products, services, things that'll help you create and stick to a routine. An accountability partner. Somebody who is going to be there for you when you're stuck. Somebody who's going to be at the gym when you go to the gym. Somebody who's there to answer the phone when you got a question. Somebody who's there, could be your wife, could be a buddy. Maybe it's your own mirror, but it's just this idea of an accountability partner that'll help you create and stick to that routine. And that's why I love the metaphor of the gym or finding a partner to go to the gym with. Because even if you don't like showing, or even if you don't feel like showing up, if I know Johnny's going or Marty's going or AJ's going to be there, just from the social side of things, I'm going as well. The power of accountability partner, you guys, to help create and stick to a routine. AJ, start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. I love working out with people. I love training with people. So when it comes to accountability in the gym, it's obviously great. And I think that can be a really important first step too for someone as they go through the process of developing that relationship with themselves as well.
Yes.
So, my preference, do I love to train with somebody? Absolutely. That's my first choice all the time. If I got someone that wants to work out with me, yeah, let's do it. I love that. On days that doesn't happen, how do I go to the gym? Well, over the years, I've developed a relationship with myself. It's going to sound kind of weird, but I almost talk to myself like I'm a separate person, right? And I have a relationship with myself where I'm like, oh no, like, do you feel like doing this today? Nah, yeah, we're going to do this today. Are you in? Yeah, I'm in. Are you in? Yeah. This is going on in my head. Like I'm treating someone that I'm responsible for taking care of, just like I would take care of a friend or a family member. And, and it kind of, obviously just increases your chances of being successful. But that does start a lot of the time with your relationship with other people and having people to be accountable to. That can be a really helpful piece while you're also developing and establishing that relationship with yourself and how you treat yourself.
Yes. Yep. Marty, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna jump in.
I think the biggest key with this whole thing is just the fact that if you're gonna use an accountability, you should understand that that's just kind of a crutch to get rid of the limp. What you need to be focused is, this is great, have it, but I need to learn. I need to learn to be accountable to myself, which is what I just talked about. So I think if people realize that they might need an accountability partner to get that rhythm going, but then start to understand what you got to do to be accountable to yourself. Because at the end, being accountable to yourself, that's really the star on top of the Christmas tree.
Yes. Marty.
Yeah. And I got to jump after this. I'll add this in.
Yeah.
The thing about accountability partner that I love is you're not only letting yourself down, you're letting your partner down.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that'll get you going like, damn, I don't want Johnny to be mad at me. Let me get this ground beef and put it in my pocket. I don't want Johnny to get mad at me.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's one thing I love about having an accountability partner. That extra push is just going to keep you on track.
Well, because it keeps you mindful, doesn't it, Marty? It just keeps you. It's as simple as keeping you mindful in the moment.
Absolutely.
Simple as that. All right, Marty, I know you got to rock and roll.
You create those neuroplasticities, and it becomes easier and easier. The longer you do it, the easier it becomes.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. All right, Marty, I know you got to rock and roll. I'm gonna close off with one last thing that everybody needs. Marty, have a great day, brother.
You too, man. I see y'all tomorrow. AJ, I see you Thursday, man.
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
Have a good look, brother.
All right, you too.
All right. Marty's going to get out of here. I'm going to wrap up with one more thing, guys, which is products that will help you be successful to hit your habits. And this is one off the list, you guys, but you need a good coffee maker. I think a good coffee maker helps you set your routines and set your habits, because I think, like brushing your teeth, those that drink coffee, it's part of your day. It's part of the routine, because the coffee unlocks it unlocks the gut. The coffee just does so much for us as human beings that you need a good coffee maker, whether it's cold brew, hot brew. Coffee is the foundation of good habits. AJ, start with you, brother. I see you smiling there.
Well, yeah, because as you know, I've never had a cup of coffee in my life. I haven't tried coffee yet. I might get there one day, but it was weird, dude. I swear to God, I was in college, and we would all meet at this spot in University Center at University of Manitoba. We'd meet up there every day. We called it the Rock, and we'd meet at the Rock in UC. And all of a sudden, I just showed up one day, and everyone had a coffee in their hands, and they were, and I was like, "When did you guys all start drinking coffee?" And they're all talking about, oh God, I can't even get through my first class without a coffee. I can't, whatever. And I'm like, when did this happen? I'm like, I meet you guys here every day. How all of a sudden does everyone need a coffee? Like, how did I miss out on this thing? And I somehow just missed it and just never went to it. But obviously, I'm very well versed in the positive effects that caffeine can have when we use it, when it comes to mental and physical performance. I've been fortunate enough to work alongside Dean Cordingley, who's the exercise physiologist at Pan Am and leads their research department. And he's done a ton of work and research on caffeine and the benefits of caffeine. So I've been able to bend his ear a lot on the topic, and so very well versed in those positive benefits. So I understand why people like it. I fully understand how it can be a positive foundational piece to starting your day, and how you can use caffeine in a very positive way. So I mean, I'm supportive of it. I would imagine if I was a coffee drinker, I would want to make sure I got a good coffee maker, and I want to make sure I have the best cup of coffee I can every morning, and that I really enjoy it. So yeah, I mean, I could easily get behind that and support that, but maybe one day it will be for me as well. Just not yet.
Johnny,
I think that's what AJ said is a perfect segue to what I was going to say, because he kind of started the whole thing. Is whether I think that the coffee in the morning, it's representative of another part of the rhythm of the morning.
Yes.
So whether it's coffee, whether it's tea, whether it's a glass of water, whatever it is you choose, whatever your coffee is, it's another piece of your rhythm that gets you moving.
Yeah, well said, Johnny. And that, for me, as we wrap up this segment, Jimmy, was as much the metaphor, because to me, coffee is associated with a routine. Like, I look at some of the folks that go to Carter's hockey game, they grab their coffee, they sit in the same spot, and that there's a routine. They drive to the game, they stop at their Tim Hortons, they get their coffee. And to me, a coffee signifies a routine or a habit, whether it's good or bad, but it's part of somebody's habit. And if you're trying to teach somebody habits or routines, I think it's and that's, to your point, Johnny, whether it's coffee or water or a drink, but it's just this idea of it happens every single day, right? And coffee just seems to be the way we start our day, which I think is a great way to establish.
And it can be coffee, it can be taking a dump and reading a book when you're taking a dump, and it's endless of what that metaphor can be.
That's exactly it. All right, you're here with Keith, AJ, and Jon Anderson this morning on Mornings Alive with Keith and Friends. We're wrapping it up. I got to head downtown to a big old dance show. AJ, what do you got going on today, brother? What's happening in your world? And as Mr. Anderson to go drive around the countryside of California.
Just busy day in the gym today. That's why I was running a couple minutes late jumping on with you guys. I got to get back in there right away. Just kind of coming to that time of year, right?
It is.
Everyone's getting back into everyone had a few weeks after their season was done or got eliminated from playoffs or whatever, and now everyone's just kind of starting to crawl back in, right, and get going again. So going to get real busy here, especially rolling into April.
Yeah.
Busy day in the gym. And then this evening I'm at the sports center, giving mental performance talks. So nice.
The boys won their game last night, AJ. So they're heading off to Brandon for Game 3 to hopefully close off the series and win the championship.
Yeah, unreal, man. I've been following from a distance and keeping up on it. Boston was at their big Game 3 win. He said he saw you. Yeah, he was giving me live updates from the game through text or whatever. So. yeah, there's obviously Carter being one of them, but there's a bunch of boys I obviously know on that team and that we follow and that we really want to obviously just see them be successful. So yeah, I'm excited for them, man. It's a big opportunity, and I'm really pulling for them.
I was telling Johnny and Marty at the beginning of the show here that I was pushing Mr. Bilous's buttons yesterday to invite him to find another gear. And sure enough, he found another gear last night, and he captained his team to a big win last night, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's awesome. What an experience, man. I just love it.
Yeah.
I just love, like, anything at the end of the day, I just love that they're getting that opportunity.
Yes.
Like, what a gift in life just to have that opportunity to just be great and do something great with a group of people. Like, and that's why sports is the best, man.
That's what I said to Carter. I said, Carter, don't let this moment pass you by. Like, if you feel like you're only giving an 8 right now, find a way to get to a 10, because you're going to wake up one day, months from now, going, oh man, it's all over. If I only tried a little harder, if I only, right? Yeah. So, and sure enough, pushed his buttons and he got after yesterday. So, which was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, AJ. Johnny, you're heading.
Thank you, AJ.
All right, AJ, take care, pal. All right, Johnny, you're driving today, buddy. Are you heading back home today? Or when are you and Tara making your way back home?
That's a good question. I know we won't make it home tonight. That's part of the beautiful thing, though. You know,
I love that, man.
So many people, they live their lives where they don't have the opportunity to just go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm living vicariously through you. Safe travels. Lots of love from me, brother, to you. Enjoy your trip. Enjoy your travels. Take care of the dog. Take care of Tara, and we'll talk to you in less than 24. Does that sound good to you?
Have a good loop, baby. See
awesome, bro. See the big smile on my face today? It's because the three of us are here today. That's awesome. Fuck, I love it, man.
Right on,
all right, pal. Take care. All right, Jimmy. Johnny's getting out of here. Uncle Keith's got to rock and roll as well today. Great show here today. We had little technical difficulties along the way, but I thought it was a good one, Jimmy. I thought it was good. We got after a few things. We talked about stop chasing success, how I stopped chasing success, and 3 changes that I made to get there. And then we leaned very much in to products, services, things that you need to create good habits. You need a water bottle. You need containers for your meal prep. You need a journal. You need a pen. There's certain things that we take for granted, but if you don't have them, you're not going to have good habits. And if you don't have good habits, you're not going to be successful. So I thought, as we continue the conversation today, I wanted to stay there. Like, no, let's stay here today. Let's stay on this topic, because this topic will be helpful for folks that tune in later. Speaking of later, we're going to get out of here. You know where we are. We're back every single day. Oh, no, we're not, Jimmy. So, Jimmy, we're going to do the Creator Spotlight. Yes, that's what we're going to do here. We're going to take the next 5 minutes and we're going to do the Creator Spotlight, the Community Corner. Before we get out of here, we got some content to create because we need to celebrate some folks. So we are going to, I'm just going to get this over here, and then we're going to do this right here. And we're going to do our Community Corner, which sounds just like that. Yeah, there you go. A little transition there, Jimmy. Let's see here. Okay. So there we go. Okay. Beautiful. Jim, I got the Substack up. Guys, we've been sold this story. We've been sold it time and time again, that being a man means keeping it all together. Never breaking, never feeling. Just tough it out. Boy, just tough it out, man. Just tough it out. Keep pushing. Don't let anyone see the cracks. Yeah. What is it, 1920? That's not strength. Fuck, man. That's called self-destruction. Now, imagine you hit rock bottom. And when you do it, it forces you to question everything you thought you knew about being a man. Everything. You realize that the way you've been living, the stories you've been following, they're all wrong. You're like, wait a minute, but that's what I learned. You've been living by someone else's script, and it's tearing you apart from the inside out. So what do? You start looking for answers, for something real, for a way to actually make sense of the chaos. The guy we're celebrating today, that's what this guy did. And that journey led him to question every lie society tells you about masculinity. He realized that our entire concept of masculinity, well, it's a myth. An invention designed to keep men trapped in silence, isolation, and suffering. Is that the kind of life you want to live, men? Silent, isolated, suffering? Well, this guy wasn't having it. So, you know what he did? He decided to break the cycle. Not just for himself, but for other men too, like you, like me, like Johnny, like Marty, like AJ. This guy's name, his name, I'm going to tell it to you in a second. He's a therapist. He's a writer. And the guy behind the Make Men Emotional Again Substack newsletter. So ladies and gentlemen, this morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends is ridiculously excited to introduce you to Jeremy Moeller. Yes, Jeremy is getting after it for men. Jeremy's tearing down the myths that keep men emotionally stuck. He's offering a different way, a way that lets men be real, own their emotions, and build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Why is Mornings in the Lab supporting Jeremy's mission? Well, because real strength doesn't come from shutting down. It comes from facing yourself, from acknowledging the truth about who you are and doing the hard work to grow. Now, Jeremy's work isn't about making men weaker. No, it's about making them whole. And that's the kind of mission we can get behind here in the lab. So if you're ready to stop pretending everything is fine, if you're ready to actually do the work, go and follow Jeremy. Go look up Substack, go find him and subscribe to Make Men Emotional Again. Yes, baby. Connect with him and get him in the conversation. And Jeremy, because of that, we want to have you on our show. We'd love to get to know you. We'd love to hear what you stand for. And we'd love to have you celebrate somebody in your orbit as part of our Community Corner Creator Spotlight right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Yes, Jeremy Moeller, go check him out, man. Loving his content and loving what he's standing for over on the Substack platform. Okay, pivoting our attention, guys, keeping the momentum going over onto LinkedIn. We got a fellow here who is rocking and rolling there. And I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm going to invite you to consider this. You know how it's been. We've all been there. Just spinning our wheels, quicksand, just fucking going around and around and around in circles, pushing harder, feeling like if we could just grind more, that we'd break through. But what if the problem isn't that you're not trying hard enough? What if the real problem is you're running full speed in the wrong direction? Guys, for a lot of you, burnout isn't just physical, it's mental, it's emotional. It's feeling stuck on a loop where everything you try just feels like you're getting nowhere. Now, imagine being so lost and disconnected that you'll try anything just to feel normal again. Now, imagine finding a way out, not by pushing harder, not by trying to be tougher, but by rewiring how you think, how you breathe, how you show up for yourself. That's the journey today's LinkedIn creator took. And he spent nearly 2 decades turning that experience into something powerful. He's built a system to help men rebuild from the inside out, mind, body, soul, all working together. Jimmy, let's get him up here. The man I'm talking about this morning, his name is Derek Billy. What's up, Derek? A holistic health and mindset coach, the kind of guy who's not just teaching theory, but living the transformation every day. His method, it's not about just pushing through. It's about mastering everything about yourself. That's what he calls the sacred warrior way. If you connect with this guy, you get a shot at real change, getting your mind, body, and emotions working together instead of fighting each other, rebuilding your resilience from the inside out, and most importantly, learning how to finally take control of your own story. Why are we supporting his mission? Because what Derek is doing aligns perfectly with what we stand for and what we do every single morning here at Mornings in the Lab and Keith and Friends. He's not about fluff or flashy quick fixes. He's not about getting it done in 10 days. No, his work is about real lifelong transformation, building strength from the inside out. That's the same approach we take here in the lab. He's teaching men how to master their mindset, rebuild their resilience, and become the best versions of themselves. And he's doing it through discipline, connection, and relentless self-mastery. Derek's mission matters because it's not just about talking the talk. It's about doing the work every single day. So if you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or just plain lost, Derek's work could be the key you're missing. I invite you, go follow him, go check him out, go find the Sacred Warriors community over on LinkedIn. And if you're ready to actually do the work, not just talk about it, if you want to talk about it, go elsewhere. If you want to get the work done, go connect with Derek over on LinkedIn. Derek, here's how it works, our brother. We're celebrating you here today, and I'm suspecting, I know there's somebody in your world that you'd love to celebrate as well. So we invite you to pay it forward. Come hang out with us in the lab. Come find somebody in your community. Take the old mornings in the lab light from us. Celebrate them so we can keep celebrating this awesome platform together. There it is. Jimmy, we're done. We got after. Thanks for your support. Thanks for keeping me accountable, Mr. Jim, with our accountability check-in. All right, my kid's dancing in 6 minutes. Yep, 6 minutes. So I'm going to watch the first one on my phone. As I'm driving downtown, I got about a 28-minute ride. And then I'm going to be working from my kid's dance festival all day today. Good times, yeah. And going to have some fun with it. So, guys, listen. What a great show today. Future Boy, thanks for hanging out with us this morning. Rick Clody, thanks for hanging out this morning. Fit Presenter, hope we helped you out. On behalf of producer Jimmy, on behalf of Melissa behind the scenes, keeping us all accountable, keeping us in the right direction. I appreciate you, Melissa. I guess I'll appreciate you too, Jimmy. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, Jimmy, the guy with the buttons, keeping us look good, keeping us accountable. Tomorrow, episode 2012, season 2. Episode 12. That's how it works, Jimmy. That's why it's 2012. Believe me, I was all messed up with it too. Was it a 1 or is it a 2? But afraid to open up 4 steps that I overcome. 4 steps I took to overcome emotional blocks. I've shared with it many times. I've had my emotional blocks along the way. That's why I fucking cry all the time. Like, no more blocks. No, the tear dams are gone. I'm just crying all the time. All right. That's tomorrow. Morning's Lab, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. You know where to find us. I'm the host, and Keith Bilous. Over there's Marty. Over there's Johnny. We got AJ and Jory joining us throughout the week. Producer Jimmy's on the buttons. We'll see you guys on the only morning show to help you guys get your day started right here. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We sure will, because Jimmy, I got to get out of here. Going down the stairs. Yep. See you guys. How about if I just do the old fall down the stairs like this?